Taro-San, the Fisherman, and the Weeping Willow Tree. When Taro-San was a little boy, he loved nothing more than to sit in the shade of a weeping willow tree all day on the bank of a river and fish. And something about the way the branches rustled the water that seemed to attract the fish to the tree made them very easy for Taro-San to catch, which is probably why he loved to fish so much. So he decided at a very early age, when he grew up, he would become a professional fisherman. Well, the years passed. The day arrived. Taro-San bought himself a boat and set sail on the ocean, looking for a good spot to cast out his net. He found a spot, he cast out his net, but it came up empty. He found another spot, he cast it out again, but again it came up empty. That happened all day the first day, the second day, the first week, the second week. He was getting very, very discouraged. He was almost ready to give up on his lifelong dream of being a professional fisherman. But before he did, he decided to make a pilgrimage to the sacred island of Miyajima off the eastern coast of Japan, home of one of Japan's largest and most sacred Shinto shrines. And as he approached the island, he could see the roof of the shrine growing larger and larger as he got closer and closer. Before he got there, though, in the harbor, he could see the very large and famous Otori gates that mark the entrance to Miyajima Harbor. But before he could anchor his boat in the harbor, he had to sail his craft under the very long extension bridge that connects one side of the harbor to the other. He did that, he anchored his boat in the harbor, and he went to the shrine, but he didn't enter it because what he was looking for was in front of the shrine, a well. We would call it a wishing well. He took a calligraphy brush and a special piece of parchment, and he painted the kanji, the Chinese characters, for his wish on the parchment, and then he dropped the parchment into the well. Hanging over the well was a bell and a log, and he took the log and he struck the bell once, twice, 3 times to summon his ancestors, to let them know that he had left this request for their aid behind. Then he went back to the harbor, got in his boat, and set sail for the mainland. But when he looked over his shoulder at the island of Miyajima, he saw a large and beautiful rainbow, which he took as a sign, as an omen that his ancestors had heard and would respond to his plea. When he got near the shore, standing on the mainland, he saw an old man fishing. In fact, that man was reeling in a fish at that very moment. He thought, this man has been sent to me by my ancestors to teach me the secret of professional fishing. He introduced himself to the man, invited him to dinner, and they went into the village and found the sign of the nearest noodle shop. After ordering and eating, the old man said, Taro-San, what is the name of your boat? Taro-San said, it's brand new, it doesn't have a name yet. There's your problem, Taro-San, said the old man. A boat without a name will never catch any fish. What do the fish see when they look through the water? They see a fishing boat. That frightens them away. But if you give your boat a name, a proper name, it will transform what they see. A good name will actually attract the fish to the boat, make them easy for you to catch. Instantly, Taro-San thought he had the perfect name for his boat. Without waiting any longer, even though it was nearly midnight, he rushed out to his boat, took a calligraphy brush, and on the bow of the boat, he painted the 3 kanji characters, the Chinese characters, for the name that he had decided upon. And then, even though it was totally dark out, without waiting for the paint to dry, he once again set sail on the ocean. A few hours later, when he looked to the horizon to the east, he saw the sun rising in a clear blue sky. He took that as another omen, as a sign that this would be the perfect place for him to cast out his net for the very first time in his newly named boat. And that's exactly what he did. And this time, unlike the many other times where his net had come back empty, this time when he reeled in his net, he found that it had in it the largest fish that he had ever seen. That turned out not to be a coincidence. That happened each and every time, all day long. So he's actually worried at the end of the day he might have trouble sailing his boat safely back into his home port because it was so heavily laden with the many fish that he had caught that day. But as he did successfully sail at home, he decided to do something he had heard of but never done himself before. He decided to hang 2 special flags from the bow of his boat. One flag to honor his ancestors, who he felt had responded to his plea, and the other flag to honor the old fisherman, who he thought they had sent to him, and who had shared with him the secret of giving his boat not only a name, but a proper name. Now, I haven't told you the name he gave his boat, but maybe you can guess from the name of the story. Do you remember how as a young boy he would sit in the shade of the weeping willow tree and fish, and something about the way the branches rustled the water that attracted the fish to the tree made them easy for Taro-San to catch? That's what he named his boat. So when the fish looked up through the water, they no longer saw a fishing boat that frightened them away. What they saw attracted them, made them easy for Taro-San to catch. because to them it looked just like a weeping willow tree. Thank you.